Hey, yeah, finally let's beat FOMO in Blender. I will explain you what it is, but I think it's a big problem. Well, at least it's for me, and I believe for some other people as well. So what is the problem exactly? So no Blender for 7 years, and I always had in mind, wow, I make a huge production like that and that. But I ended up with always small experiments. Let's try this, let's try that. What happens if we do that? And let's look at that possibility. Let's try that add-on and buy that add-on. And so you end up with loads of add-ons. You invested in it. And then you have your end panel full of all those add-ons. And most of them you never really use. Maybe to practice a bit, but not really for a production. And often it happens you go to an add-on and you think, oh yeah, what's that again? And then, yeah, this is my own add-on, but I have that documentation, but often there's no documentation in the add-on, so then you end up looking for the add-on online. And then you have to type in the name of the add-on, you'll find the documentation. So, and your goal initially was, wow, Blender, I'm going to make a huge production. And you end up getting lost in all those possibilities, and also even in Blender itself. You see here all kinds of buttons here, over there, on the left, on the top, at the bottom here, and on the right in the properties panel, and each tab has its own tools and add-ons, and then we have seen nothing yet because there are loads of other editors, so we just checked one editor. Yeah, so the possibilities are huge and you get lost. And what happened to me, I think I never really made a real production. Well, that's not completely true. I made a Blender add-on website, so you can see that as a project, but it is, yeah, actually it should help to make a production with Blender, but I end up having a website about Blender add-ons, and I ended up with, let's take a look here, and I made some add-ons myself, but still not really a production what I had in mind. So last year I had like a Blender burnout, I call it, and let's tackle that. Let's tackle that right now in this video. Alright, so the experience is that there are a lot of bells, whistles, and add-ons that distract. When I look at Blender tweets, I quickly found 4 of them. For example, this one, I don't know who it might be useful to, but the geometric nodes are too powerful. And then who knows what it will be possible to do in the future when many things will be controllable by the nodes. As you see, again here, looking at the possibilities and trying out things. The next one, I'm trying out VDM brushes with the geometry nodes. The next, a quick scene trying to fake a fish island in Eevee. Next one, some geometry nodes randomly this fine Monday. And the last one, doing some tests in Blender to achieve that purely stylized eye look. So all tweets that are, they look at possibilities, try out things, and that is typical Blender. Why do people actually start Blender? So they start Blender and they have in mind, wow, I'm going to make this and that. That's the last one over here. So here in these two we see that Blender offers the whole 3D pipeline, like modeling, rigging, animation, simulation, rendering, compositing, motion tracking, video editing and more. And the last one says most people start using Blender because they want to create huge, elaborate digital masterpieces. And then my question is, why do we actually want to create? So you start Blender, you think, oh, I'm going to make this masterpiece. And what is the drive behind that? Why do people want to create? There are a few things, they might be connected somehow. It can be personal fulfillment. Imagine a little kid, you give a little kid a piece of paper and a crayon, and the kid starts to draw. And yeah, maybe that is in our genes. That's how humans survive. We create things, fire, buildings, bridges. That's typical human to create things, I believe. Then that kid, the kid's parents might say, oh wow, did you make that? That's nice. So the kid gets positive feedback and wants to make another painting because it likes that positive feedback from the parents or some other people, and at the end they get good at painting and they will continue that, and that's the thing. Could be. What can also play a role is that we live in a society and we want to be useful. We want that other people appreciate our things so we can interact with them, maybe doing business or mean something for each other. That's what I'm trying to say. So that is that's very normal that you want appreciation from someone else. So if you see someone, don't hesitate to appreciate the other person's effort, I would say. But it can also be that you have to drive to make the world a better place. Like say you're an artist, you have something in mind and you think, oh, I wish people could have another perspective on this and that. These can all be reasons why people create. So this is quite a trap. So the possibility trap. We have too many possibilities, and then we forget our goal, what we really want. Here I have an example. Let's say you're very passionate about modeling dolphins, box modeling dolphins. So you're in Blender. Initially you do things all over again, so you do things like that. inside, maybe you do a bevel, and that's pretty much what you are using all the time. Maybe you use a subsurface modifier, and you go, you try to model things like that, etc. But then there comes a time that you think, yeah, that's not special, everyone can do that. What if I try this and that? So you look for more, you see all these possibilities, and you want to expand your thing. But you can easily end up in too much. You can think like this. So yeah, I can also, what if I'm going to animate them? And or what if I trace them with the grease pencil and animate the grease pencil? Or what if I may do something with the geometry nodes? There are too many possibilities in Blender. And if you want to be good at all those things like sculpting, texturing, yeah, rigging, animation, geometry nodes, grease pencil, then it would take a lifetime to be good at that. So you have to limit yourself a little bit. So that's a trap, all those whistles and bells within Blender. The next trap, those are Blender add-ons. So I was, let's go at, yeah, so for example I have this one. My passion is to create dolphins. And then I see this one. I go to a shop or another shop, not specifically Blender Market, but this is an example. And I go here and I read this. This product enables you to draw a lot of different symmetry options in real time. You can create complex drawings super fast. It's a lot of fun. Wow, complex drawings super fast. Look at that. So, and I look at that and I think, wow, yeah, I can make something in the ocean, or maybe waves, or like that, and I can do that super fast. Or I can make yeah, background decoration or something. So, yeah, I feel excited about it, and I think, see, there's possibilities, and I think, yeah, shall I buy it or not? If I don't buy it, yeah. Other people have these possibilities, and if I don't buy it, I don't have that, so I might miss the boat, maybe I left out. Fear of missing opportunity. Yeah, and all, if you are like me, in the past I collected loads of add-ons. You see, I made this website with all kinds of add-ons about Blender. I tested them, and I collected free add-ons, a lot of paid add-ons, so I invested a lot. And I ended up with all those add-ons. And it's not really productive. You have to load, loading Blender takes a longer time. I'm looking for the documentation, and then you're not using a specific add-on, and you think, oh, what was that again? And you try to get into it again. So the problem is, yeah, I think the main problem is that we don't want to get left behind. we don't want to miss the boat. That could be the thing. Yeah, therefore we try every possibility, all those things, all the whistles and bells, and that we tend to buy an add-on like that one. Maybe I'll buy it because it's pretty interesting. Yeah, no, we forget our goal. So I think it's a good idea to set very clear of your goal. But we are not finished yet with the video. Let's take a look. Okay, here is a list of how to reach a goal. I know people won't follow these kinds of steps. So let's skip to this line over here. So basically, those steps are telling, find out what is there. So what can Blender do? So if you start with Blender, you check out, what are the possibilities? You have sculpting, you have animation, geometry, nodes, texturing, physics, etc. You maybe you get take time for 3 to 6 months for that to find out what Blender has to offer, and then you find out what fits you the most, what do you like the most, and what is it what you could do the whole day or for longer time, maybe a few hours a day. And so what's there, what is what you want, what you can do, what's your motivation and your goal, and how do you proceed with that. So that's basically these steps over here. So this is in one sentence. That's how to reach a goal. So, but even if we do that, we still might fall into the trap of fear of missing out. And I think if I do this for 2 weeks, then I easily fall into that trap again and again. It happened to me a lot of times. So I do Blender for 7 years, and I always fall in that trap. So we are going to beat this. So how to beat FOMO? Yeah, I have. I'm very proud of it. 2 diplomas. One is in cognitive behavioral therapy and the other one in counseling. And right now I'm working on mindfulness diploma. But yeah, that could help me. So I cover a few, some might be interesting. So how to beat FOMO in cognitive behavioral style. You could challenge the thought, like, am I going to miss the boat? So we are here on this website, and you think, shall I buy it, shall I not buy it? Yeah, if I don't buy it, and all those people will have the possibility to see what I'm thinking. Then I can challenge that thought. Then I can say, all right, so all those people. Then when I think a bit more realistic and logically, when I take a look at that thought, then I know that quite some people who will buy it. 7 days ago, not that much. Alright, but some add-ons, a lot of people are buying it. And what happens is that people are buying it, but they use the add-on for a few days and they don't really make a production with it, like I always do. So yeah, I can challenge the thoughts. Am I going to miss the boat? Are people buy it? You can do that. Challenge thoughts. Maybe you're exaggerating the possibilities, because I'm here and I think, wow, I can do this, and then I can do that, and I can make a decor. I'm pretty fast, so I can sell my adult dolphins much better. But am I blowing a little bit up the story? Because most of the time you buy an add-on, you try it out, and you think, yeah, indeed, I can paint fast symmetries, but, and then there was always a but. It was not exactly what I had in mind. So often, yeah, check if you're exaggerating a bit of the possibilities. Yeah, CBT has also exposure. So you can also say, like, yeah, the fear of missing out. So I could talk to someone and just show that, yeah, that you are limited. You say, yeah, I'm a box modeler. I make dolphins, box modeling, and a subsurf modifier. That's what I do, and I'm very good at it. And yeah, I know I should also texture them, but maybe there's something for you, so you could collaborate. Collaboration. I think often we want to do everything on our own. That's simply not possible. Well, if it's your hobby and it's just for your personal fulfillment to try everything with Blender, then that's okay. You can do everything on your own. But if you want to reach a certain goal, then you might want to collaborate with someone else. Next one. How to beat FOMO, the Gestalt style. That's based on Gestalt therapy. So how does that missing the boat feel like? Where in your body is that feeling? Can you describe it? So I can think, oh, and wow, yes, I want to buy this. And my heart is beating a little bit faster. And I think, oh, I'm going nuts. If I don't buy that, I'm going to get crazy. And then I can think, all right, how does it feel like? So what do I feel if I click or not click the button? What happens then? Okay, maybe my heart starts beating a bit faster. Or I feel something here if I don't buy it, like in this part of my body. And is it really that bad, that feeling? Is it something like a disaster, or I'm going to die or something? How does it exactly feel? When you look at how does that really feel like? It is not such a big disaster as that you think, oh, I'm going to nuts. Can I borrow some money, or how can I budget this and really need this? So you can ask that, you really need it? Or how does it feel? What happens? What are your thoughts? Yeah, that is a little bit like Gestalt style. I have a video about that, about all these kind of therapies. So if you're interested in that, then you can dive into that or look it up. How to beat FOMO in MT style. That stands for metacognitive therapy. And that's basically what we are doing here. We zoom out a little bit, we look objective at thoughts and feelings, And then you decide, what is my attitude? What is my stand about thoughts and those feelings? How do I deal with that? Then, how to be a FOMO TA style. TA style stands for transactional analysis. It's based on psychodynamics, which is quite old, but from there someone developed TA, transactional analysis. I forgot the name. But let's see if there is something useful here. So TAs would ask, can we speak of automated scripts? Like sometimes we run on scripts. We do something automatically. We learn from other people or from the parents or from education, from school. And we just repeat those without really thinking about it. As a child, we developed a life script. In FOMO, did our parents give us an injunction that is there an underlying message from our parents? It could be, but I think this is not so applicable. I think no, what I think is let me think. We are at slide 14. I have. Oh yeah. Yeah. Here we see that it is more in people's. People are wired to create, and maybe we want to mean something in our community. And again, we don't need to be ashamed of that. 14. Yeah, so that we get that from our parents. I don't think so. I think it is, we are a little bit wired. MBCT style, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, that will ask, what happens when we see a new product? What do we feel automatically? Yeah, that's pretty simple. So, yeah, we can ask what happens exactly when that's what we are doing actually right now. SFBT, that is solution-focused brief therapy. So it's focused on solutions, and it is brief, short. It is focused on, you think, what are your goals, what are your values, rather than thinking about the problem or analyzing the problem. Just ask, okay, what's your goal, what's your value, what do you want to achieve in life, what's important to you, what do you want to happen, and how can we achieve that? I think it's a good thing because it will keep our goal in mind. So let's say our goal is to create dolphins. Then, and we keep that in mind, we don't need to get distracted by other things, bells and whistles. I think it's pretty good. Then ACT style, ACT stands for acceptance and commitment therapy. So it would say you accept those feelings and thoughts, notice it, and keep also in mind what your goals are, and check what is happening now. what actions bring you closer to the goal. Let's try that. So I'm here. I think, oh wow, buy, not buy, buy. So I think, hold on, what's going on here? So I investigate my, what my feelings are, or emotions, and my thoughts. This looks a bit like a mixture of what we had so far, and in this case that will work pretty well. REBT style, that's a little bit older than ACT. And it looks a bit like BCT. CBT, sorry. And instead of challenging the thought, it says, okay, then you're going to miss out. And is that such a disaster? So I decide not to buy it, and I think, other people will have that and not me. And then I can think, well, is that bad? I'm not sure if that's very applicable here. This one is good. This is what I think of the situation helped me reach my goal. So again, focus on your goal is a good idea. And does my short-term goal really make me happy in the long run? So this is my short-term goal. And will that help me creating my dolphins? Then, so those were all kinds of therapies, how they would deal with that. Then, how do you beat FOMO specifically? That's what I typed in Google. And then I found this answer. We will always miss out on something. The thing is, we make trade-offs. And battle FOMO by being present and what you invested so far, I think. And that's very good. We always miss out on something. The thing is, we make a trade-off. So I can buy this, but then I will be less the king of my lane when it comes to dolphins. And I have to invest time in this add-on and grease pencil. So I'm going to make a trade-off. So am I going to do that or not? That's pretty good. And another suggestion is to stay away from things that trigger FOMO. So I could decide, okay, I open a blender and for 2 weeks long, I only use extruding, inset, grabbing, and subdivision modifier, and that's all I really do, and this proportional editing mode. That's pretty good. One last thing is, I found that interesting, and this one will connect all things together. So ego functions, I think Freud came with that. It's a bit old, I think, comes from psychodynamics. But this one still stands, I believe. The first thing that's good. You know how to, so this is about someone who has strong ego functions. You know how to look at your thoughts and feelings objectively. Thoughts and feelings occur in a container, that is you. So rather than being in the thought or experience the thought I'm feeling, you zoom out a bit and you see yourself as a container, and in that container some thoughts and emotions occur, and you have a little bit of a distance of it. And you can look at them and decide what to do with them, just like any other object in the world. So when I see this plate over here, I can decide to pay attention to it or not. And so we can also see thoughts and emotions like that. And when we get an impulse, we know how to handle those thanks to mindfulness and meditation. When we get an impulse, we know to handle those, so that is pretty much related to this. So we are here, we can look at our thoughts and emotions objectively and make it a decision rather than being in that emotion. So that's a whole story, but let me recap. Did I beat FOMO now finally? Because I need to get rid of it, because it knocked me out of Blender for a year, and I don't want to happen that again. So do I think I really can do that? So I open a Blender, I just do a few things a week, and when I see something like an add-on, let's make a dolphin. Maybe there is an add-on for dolphins. Shape keys, big shape keys. No, let me test myself. Do I want to buy this? And big shape keys add-on was developed for a stop motion animation studio, so that animators can focus entirely on the time on animation. And said big shape keys. Oh, that's a pretty long story. So give me a second. Yeah. So I really have to think what my goals are. What my goals are, what I'm going to dive into and what not. And when I see some news, I think I try not to be too much engaged immediately. I will wait and just do my thing. Yeah, that's what I do. So I will open up a Blender, pick some simple tools, and decide, yeah, that's my thing, and that's how I use Blender, and not many things will influence me. I think that's it. That won't be the thing. Alright, as if you have something to add, and let us know in the video. And yeah, there is something. I'm really excited about also this course and the art of making a living as a 3D artist. Sometimes I add a new lecture to it. This one's very interesting. Communication, that's really important if you want to reach your goal. Yeah, so if you are here and you find this website useful, please consider a donation so I can help you more with Blender. What I'm going to do is I dive more into the psychology of Blender. So I will do more things like this course, what I have on Udemy, and something like this video. So I will dive into marketing, psychology, and yeah, and that's it. So, but I need to study. I want to get more of these diplomas. So, alright, thanks for watching and see you next time.